Hello, good morning everybody. Let us continue with the very important topic of third chapter, that is classification of elements and periodicity of properties or periodic properties. Okay, now in this chapter we have studied so far that elements are classified into 7 periods and 18 groups according to modern periodic table or long form of periodic table. In the previous chapter, we have studied 4 different types of orbitals, that is S, P, D and F. Now in all the elements which are present in modern periodic table, in all of them, their last electron is present not only in the same type of orbital, but it is present in different 4 types of orbitals. So based on the type of orbital, how these elements are classified in modern periodic table. So that is what we are going to discuss today. So classification of elements based on types of orbitals. We will take first the S type, or the elements which belong to this category. They are called S block elements. Clear? S block elements have general electron configuration in their outermost orbit as ns1 or ns2. Clear? Here we will talk about only the outer configuration, that is the valence shell configuration of the element. So in S block element, their general configuration is ns1 ns2. We know that in S orbital, maximum 2 electrons can be accommodated. So either there is 1 electron present in the S orbital, or there are 2 electrons present in S orbital. Here N stands for principal quantum number. So as we have discussed earlier, that number of the period indicates the value of principal quantum number. Elements of the first period means their principal quantum number is 1, means their valence electron is present in first orbital. Clear? Elements of the second period, their valence electrons are present in the second orbital. Clear? So second period, third period, like that. So here N stands for principal quantum number. If we talk about the first period, then N is equal to 1. If we talk about second period, then N is equal to 2, like that. Clear? Here whatever written as an exponent on the power, so that is the number of electron. So S block elements means they have general electron configuration either ns1 or ns2. Now which elements of the modern periodic table they belong to S block? So that is the elements of group 1 and group 2. Group 1 elements have general configuration ns1 and group 2 elements have general configuration ns2. Clear? Okay. Now here we will talk about the general properties of S block elements. They are reactive metals. As we know, first group elements, they are known as alkali metals. Alkali means basic. So their metal oxides or hydroxides, when dissolved in water, they form hydroxides, means the alkaline solution. Their aqueous solutions are alkaline. They are basic in nature and they are all metals. That is why they are called alkali metals. So group 1 elements are alkali metals, group 2 elements are alkaline earth metals, because again their aqueous solutions are alkaline, but apart from that their source is earth, and that is why they are called alkaline earth metals. In both the elements I have used the word metal, means they are all reactive metals. Clear? S block elements are all reactive metals, and if it is a metal, then obviously it has a low ionization enthalpy. Ionization enthalpy means ability of an atom or the energy required by an atom to release its valence electron, to release its outermost electron. Clear? So they have low ionization enthalpy, and that is why we know that metals have greater tendency to lose electron. So atom can lose electron easily only when it has a low ionization enthalpy. Clear? So they have low ionization enthalpy. They can form either +1 ion, means the first group elements, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. They have one valence electron. So if they lose that electron, they will be converted into +1 ion. And second group elements, that is alkaline earth metals, they have two valence electrons. So by loss of two valence electrons, they are converted into the positive ion with +2 charge. Clear? So they can form +1 ion and +2 ion by loss of 1 or 2 electrons respectively. Then their metallic character increases when we go down the group. Clear? When we go down the group, that we will discuss afterwards. But when we go down the group, then there is always increase in the metallic character. So if we take the first group elements, that is lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium and cesium. So compared to lithium, sodium is more metallic. Compared to sodium, potassium is more metallic. Clear? Like that. And cesium is the most metallic element, we can say. So down the group, metallic character increases, so their reactivity also increases. Clear? They are never found in a pure form because they are very reactive metals. Clear? They are reactive metals. So whenever any element is very reactive, then in nature it cannot be found in a free state, in a pure form. For example, we cannot find sodium or potassium in a pure form in nature. They are always found as either potassium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, potassium oxide, sodium oxide, like that. Clear? They are always found in a compound form. So because of higher reactivity, they are never found in a pure form. Last is they are predominantly ionic, means the compound formed by them is predominantly, it is a purely ionic. Exception is lithium and beryllium. Lithium, the first element of the first group, beryllium, the first element of the second group. These two are exceptional cases. Clear? But other elements of their group, they can form ionic compound. For example, sodium chloride, it is purely ionic. Potassium chloride, it is purely ionic. Magnesium chloride, it is also purely ionic. So most of them except lithium and beryllium, they are predominantly ionic. So this is all about S block elements. Clear? What is their outermost configuration? Which group elements of the periodic table belong to S block and which are the general characteristics. Second type of orbital we have studied is a p orbital. So all elements in which the last electron is present in p orbital are called p block elements. P orbitals are 3 in number, px, py and pz. 2 electrons in each, means total 6 electrons can be accommodated in any p orbital, and that is why their general configuration is ns2np1 to ns2np6, means their s orbital is complete and electron starts entering in p orbital. Here again n stands for principal quantum number. If the element belongs to second period, then this will be 2s2 to p1 or 2s2 to 2p6. Clear? So here the important thing is, in p block elements, the last electron enters in p orbital, whether it is px or py or pz. Clear? And that's why they are called p block elements. Now in periodic table, group 13 to 18. Clear? If you remember periodic table, then you might be remembering that it is like this. The arrangement is like this. Clear? The first two here are the S block elements and these are P block elements. Clear? So this is group 1 and 2 and here it is group 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. Clear? So total 6 groups are there. Why? Because total 6 electrons can be present in p orbital, and that is why there are 6 groups in the periodic table, group number 13 to 18, which belong to p block. In all these elements of group 13 to 18, the last electron is present in a p orbital. Clear? Now what are their characteristics? Here the one important thing is S and p block elements together are known as representative elements, or they are called elements of main group. Now here for this purpose we consider always the elements of the second period. In first period, we know there are two elements, hydrogen and helium. Clear? So it is a very small period. Second period, in which the first element is lithium and the last element is neon. So from lithium to neon, clear? These elements in which lithium and beryllium are S block element, and remaining from boron to neon, they are P block elements. So S and P block elements together are known as representative elements because they represent the properties of the other elements of their own group. Clear? For example, lithium, its configuration is NS1. It means all the elements of lithium group, they will have the same configuration NS1. Clear? The value of N will be different. Clear? But the configuration is NS1. So they are called representative or the elements of main group. Second thing is non-metallic character increases from left to right. So suppose this is the period, the second period if we talk about. When we go from left to right, then non-metallic character increases. Means in any period, the elements in the beginning, they are metallic, but elements towards the end of the period, they are non-metallic. So non-metallic character increases. For example, lithium, second period, the first element, lithium is metal, beryllium is metal, but after that boron, carbon, clear, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon, these are all non-metals. Boron is considered as a metalloid. Clear? So non-metallic character increases when we go from left to right. Metallic character increases down the group. Clear? As we have seen in this. So here also, whether it is 13 group or 14 group or 15 group, when we go from top to bottom of the group, then metallic character will increase. But when we go across the period, from left to right of the period, then metallic character will decrease. It means non-metallic character will increase. Clear? Noble gases, they have NS2 and P6 configuration. Exception is helium. Helium is having configuration NS2. But in remaining noble gases, means the elements of 18 group, the last group elements of the periodic table, they have completely filled p orbital. After that, the electron enters the next shell, next orbit, next energy level. Clear? So here all inert gases, they have general configuration NS2 and P6. Here you can see there are 8 electrons in the outermost orbit. So having 8 electrons has made them inert, has made them chemically inactive. Clear? So they have low chemical reactivity, and that is why they are called inert or they are called noble gases. Clear? Group 16 elements, means preceding to the noble gas 18 group elements, there are two groups, group 16 and group 17. These elements, group 16 elements means oxygen group. They are known as chalcogens, and group 17 means fluorine group. They are known as halogens. Clear? So these two names you have to remember. Now these two groups, they are the preceding group of inert gases. Means they have a stronger non-metallic character, and when the element is non-metallic, it always has stronger tendency to accept electron, to gain electron. And if element gains electron, then it is converted into negative ion. Clear? So 16 and 17 group elements, they are just 1 or 2 electrons away from the inert gas configuration. Clear? And that is why they have highly negative electron gain enthalpy. In the topic of, means when we will go for the periodic properties, electron gain enthalpy is one of the periodic properties. That time we will discuss in detail what is meant by highly negative electron gain enthalpy. Just for the sake of means from the short note point of view, or for the sake of the classification based on the type of orbital, you have to remember these general characteristics. Then the third type is a d block. Obviously in these elements the last electron is present in d orbital. We have studied that d orbitals are 5 in number, 2 electrons in each, so total 10 electrons can be accommodated in any d orbital, and that is why their general configuration is n-1, d1 to 10, ns 0 to 2. means s orbital is either vacant or there can be one electron or there can be two electron. Clear? But the number of d orbital is a n minus 1. Clear? This we have studied in Aufbau's principle, that after 3s and 3p electron goes to 4s and then it goes through 3d, and that is why as electron first goes to 4s orbital due to according to n plus l rule and according to Aufbau's principle, so here I write 4s means n is equal to 4. Clear? And for d orbital it is n minus 1. Got it? So d block elements, they have general outermost configuration n minus 1, d1 to 10, ns 0 to 2. Clear? So d orbital, d block elements, they start from fourth period, because fourth period means principal quantum number 4. Clear? So electron is present in 4s orbital. After that electron enters in 3d orbital. So though 3d orbital belongs to the third orbit, but these elements, they start from the fourth period in the periodic table. Clear? So their general configuration you have to remember. It can be asked in fill in the blank or in MCQs. They are metals. See, in transition elements, no element is a metalloid or non-metal. They are all metals. These are the characteristics which are very important. They form colored ion. In alkali group elements, if we check the color of the compound, then they are all white, which means they are all colorless. But when we go for transition elements, see, transition element belongs to this portion of periodic table. They are present in the middle of the periodic table, means between S and P block element, and that is why they are called bridge between S and P block. S block elements means active metals, and P block elements means less reactive metals, means more non-metallic elements. So between metals and non-metals there is a bridging group. Clear? Or there are the bridging elements which are called D block elements. So in all the elements present in the middle of the periodic table, the last electron is present in a d orbital, whether it is 3d or 4d or 5d. Clear? Okay. So now they are all, they form colored ion. For example, copper. Copper belongs to D block. So copper has copper sulfate or copper nitrate. If we talk about, it is a blue color solution, or it is a blue color compound. If we talk about iron, then iron sulfate, FeSO4, is a light green color compound. Clear? If we talk about iron chloride, FeCl3, ferric chloride, then it is reddish brown color compound. If we talk about manganese, then potassium permanganate. Clear? It is a violet color compound. Potassium dichromate, it is orange color. Potassium chromate, it is yellow color. So here chromium is a transition element, or it is a D block element. So they form colored ions. Why they form colored ion, that we will discuss in next year. We have separate chapter on D and F block elements. So right now we will not go in much detail. They have variable valence. See, first group elements, they have +1 valency. Second group elements, they have +2 element, +2 oxidation state or valency. So these group elements, they have fixed valence, they have fixed oxidation state. But transition elements, they have variety of oxidation state, means their oxidation state, their valency varies from 0 to +7. So they have variable valence, they have variable oxidation state. They are paramagnetic. Paramagnetic means the substance which is attracted by magnetic field. So because they have unpaired electrons in their d or s orbital, they are paramagnetic. The substance, the atom or the molecule which has unpaired electron is attracted by magnetic field. So it is said to be paramagnetic. So they are paramagnetic. They are used as a catalyst. Clear? Many D block elements, they are used as a catalyst. For example, iron is used in manufacture of ammonia by Haber's process. Vanadium pentoxide, vanadium is a transition element, D block element. It is used in contact process for manufacturing sulfuric acid. Clear? So like that. So they are used as a catalyst. So this is the use, how they are important. So they are used as a catalyst. This use is important. Clear? Okay. then this we have already discussed. They are called transition elements because their properties is in between S block and P block. Transition means change. So their property changes from metallic to non-metallic. They are bridge between the metallic elements and the non-metallic elements, and so they are called transition elements. Now in this you have to remember these three, which we will study in detail next year. Zinc, cadmium and mercury, they have n-1 d10 ns2 configuration, means their d orbital is completely filled, and so they are not considered as transition elements. Just for your knowledge, I would like to say transition element is the one in which d orbital is incomplete, means 1 to 9, that is considered as incomplete d orbital. But these elements of d block, they have completely filled d orbital, and that is why as per the definition of transition element, they are not considered as transition elements. So this can be asked again in a objective type question. Then the last classification is F block. Obviously in this type of element, the last electron is present in F orbital. F orbitals are 7 in number, 2 electrons in each, means total 14 electrons can be present in F orbital. So their general outermost configuration is n-2, F1 to 14, n-1, d0 to 1, ns2. This configuration is very important for objective type question. Clear? You have to remember, see, you have to focus that in F orbital electron starts entering. So F orbital is important for F block elements. In D orbital, either 0 electron is present or 1 electron is present. So D orbital is not completely filled. Either 0 or 1 electron will be there, and S orbital is complete by 2 electrons. So this is the outermost configuration of F block elements. In case of D block elements, I have written n-1. So obviously for F block element, I will have to write n-2. Clear? Means suppose the we also know that F orbital starts from principal quantum number 4. D orbital starts from principal quantum number 3. P orbital starts from principal quantum number 2. Clear? So F orbital starts from principal quantum number 4.